I'm John Thelen, this is Jeff Sundin. Today on Fish Ed, we're gonna go out and we're gonna chase some spring crappies. And I don't think there's anything in the world that tastes better than a fish fry in the spring, and crappies might be the best one, aren't they?
Especially after you had 4 weeks of layover between ice fishing and open water season.
That's right. We're gonna go get on them. Stay right where you're at. This is gonna be a good show.
That didn't take too long.
That's not a bad little move, huh?
No, that was just right. That put us right in the sweet spot. You know what's nice about this time of year? That's not too bad of a crappie to get started with. Might be a little bit small.
I don't know, you know, I got one over here too. So, you know, a lot of this is just getting your boat positioned where the fish are in the spring. Because these fish, they're gonna be packed together because they're getting ready to spawn. Look at that one, Jeff, that one's a better one. Yeah, that's a male. I mean, you can see the difference right away, how black he is.
Yep, and that silver, the females hold that silver color. You know what? I think I'll toss this one back and we'll save that one for supper. How's that sound?
Sounds good. We'll throw this guy in. This is some of the funnest fishing you can do right here. Springtime crappie fishing. And you get that itch to go out walleye fishing, and you know, I mean, it's available in a lot of places now with fishing just opening, but I'll tell you what, all said and done, this is some of the funnest fishing you can do. And these fish are pretty predictable. I mean, you can go out and when you get on these fish and find the areas they're holding, you can sit and fill a live well of these and have a great dinner.
Yep.
Let's throw this guy in and let's find us some more.
Got him.
Oh. You must have the magic spot out there as soon as we slid this boat over, huh? Those fish are sitting right about where that boat was. Isn't that funny how that happens and all of a sudden they start biting?
You know what? You get on a big pile of them, that's another kind of a little guy right there. But what's really nice, they stack up. What these fish have done, they've already been into the shallows once this spring on a feeding run almost as soon as the ice goes out. Then they disappear for a little bit. Now it's warming up. They're not quite ready to spawn, but they're going to be really soon. And what's beautiful about these kind of spots, you got a nice little cut. They're going to move towards spawning territory. There's a weed bed underneath us and they're all staged up on that spot. So all we have to do is find the sweet spot and stay put.
These fish will move around a lot though. I can flip out here and you can spend a little bit of time out here, and if you don't get one, you'll see that there's a bite going on over here, but then they'll shut off over there and all of a sudden they'll be going down over here. So you really want to keep moving that float around. I don't leave a float sit for more than just a few seconds. There's one actually biting right there and I got him. But I'll leave a float sit for, you know, 15 seconds. If I don't get a fish to bite on it, I'll usually reel that float up and give it a new cast. Look at that, that's a good one right there. That's what we're after today. You know, this is such a fun time of year because you've got the males and the females all mixed together and they're setting up to go up into that shallow water and spawn. Like Jeff was saying, right now they're sitting out here just a little bit deeper, but the key is finding the spot on the spot. And what we've done here today is we have found a little area where there's a flat here, and on either side of us there's deep water. And what it's done is made it so these fish have some vegetation to come up into, because you have to remember, we're just at 59-degree water temp. We're just starting to get some vegetation. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna hold the fish. There's no vegetation out in 8-9 feet yet. It's not warm enough out there, but here it's just starting to grow, so the fish are all stacking up in here. Got him. Ooh. I wonder, you know, sometimes crappies and bass are mixed together, and pike. This guy comes in, changes things down there a little bit, and all of a sudden those crappies vacate for a little while because of this guy. He's lucky because next week there might be some people keeping him to eat them.
There we go. You know what? That's right.
You know what? I chased all them crappies, or my pike chased all them crappies right over here.
I can tell you one thing, those northerns have a knack for finding where these are. You know what? Let me show you what I'm using here for a second. I got one of my favorite jigs is that Watsit, that little Watsit. Yeah. There's something about the way that that thing darts in the water, a little bit of wave action, it darts and moves around a little bit. Plus, I think these fish it's starting to warm up, and I think those fish are starting to like that bigger profile. A couple days ago, they didn't want that, but today it's starting to really do the trick for me. And I like having that big blob of color down there too. I think that helps get their attention. I think we're gonna set that one back in the lake.
Yeah, and you know, there's another option too here. What I'm using is just a simple little nipper, and you know, this is a hairstyle jig, and these things have been around forever, and they just flat out catch panfish over and over. I don't care if it's bluegills, crappies, whatever it may be. And then up here, I'm using a wobble bobber, and this Thel wobble bobber is so cool because without the stem in it, I've got a brass grommet at both ends, but without that stem, I can cast this thing a mile. And you look at a day like today with this wind blowing, I can actually aim right where I want to cast, and I can fire it there. And that's what makes it really cool. The other thing about it is it's stamped right on the side. You know exactly how much weight it's gonna float. So this one's gonna float a 1/16 of an ounce, so you know exactly which one to buy when you go to the store and pick them up. Either one of these options, I'll tell you what, it's awesome. Jeff's using a bubblegum float, this wobble bobber, little nipper, or Watsit jig. Any of those are gonna catch fish for you. Got him. That feels like the right kind too. Oh yeah. Got an ultralight, a crappie is an awful lot of fun to catch. When it comes down to it, these fish, they'll run around and they're a lot of fun, and that's actually another good one. We're gonna throw him in the live well and gonna make for a nice fish fry tonight. I'll tell you what, this is some fun fishing. Get out, get after this opportunity, because these pre-spawn crappies, they're gonna be here for another couple weeks. What's gonna happen is they're gonna slide up, they're gonna spawn here in the next week or so, then they're gonna move themselves back out. So you're gonna get 2 weeks from here into the shallower water and then back out to have an opportunity to get them before they head deep for the summer months. That's a fun fish to catch. For Jeff Sundin, I'm John Thelen. We'll catch you next week on Fish Ed.